My next interview is with Robin Fleming from the Rojava Information Center in Rojava, which is a region of northeast Syria cleared out of ISIS by the Kurdish-led SDF. The SDF stands for Syrian Democratic Forces, and it was an army made up of Kurds, Arabs, Christians, Muslims, Yazidis, even a couple of Jews, a lot of international volunteers, and they all came together and worked together to get rid of ISIS. Now the region is under attack by Turkey in the north, and they're blockaded from most of the other sides, from the Iraq side and from southern Syria. So the coronavirus, when it hits there, if it hits there, will probably hit it pretty hard because it's just very difficult to get equipment and all the medicine and stuff in there. So like I said, my next interview is with Robin Fleming from the Rojava Information Center, and she'll give us an update on what's going on there and how they're dealing with it. So what can you tell me about what's going on there now? Is the coronavirus there?
Well, this is a difficult question to answer because there are no machines and no ability to test for corona within North and East Syria. There was previously one testing facility, but this was in Sedekani, and during Turkey's latest operation into North and East Syria, it destroyed this testing facility. So now there is no way to test and no way to know the number of people who have been affected by corona. I think it's safe to say that people have been affected. And the only way for people to be tested is through Damascus. And this is a very long, difficult process, yeah.
Are you able to get to, are people able to get to Damascus for testing?
Many people here obviously are not able to travel directly to Damascus, but they can send samples to Damascus to be tested. This, again, like I said, is a very long process. And so far, the last I heard, around 5 people had been tested. They all got back negative, but this is only 5 people. And it's not everyone is being tested. It's still very unclear how high the numbers could be.
See, I heard yesterday that there might be one case already for sure, because the symptoms are all there. You know, other than testing, they have no way of testing it. So it was last October that Turkey bombed the hospital in Serikani, wasn't
it? Yes.
And that's where the testing facility was as well?
Yes. Yeah, and now not only was the hospital damaged, but it is in the hands of Turkey and its mercenaries and is obviously not accessible to anyone living in the rest of North and East Syria.
Okay. Have they taken over all of Serikani?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that is a problem for sure then, yeah. And I heard that Turkey is still bombing you guys. Is that also true?
The way this last operation went is it was quite strong. Like you said, it began October 9th of 2019 and then slowly tapered off. So there's still occasional shellings, but I wouldn't say there's an ongoing war. It's more, I think a few months ago they shelled the city of Ainisa. Yeah. But it's not a full attack anymore.
Okay then. So,
mostly they're focusing their energy on Idlib.
But that's going to make it difficult for people to get, like, if the virus takes hold there and really starts to have an effect, it's going to make it even more difficult for people to get the proper help they need to deal with it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it can't be stressed enough that not only is coronavirus itself a problem that is affecting the whole world at the moment, but because of the political situation here, it's even more difficult for it to be dealt with in a proper way, despite the attempts of the autonomous administration to keep it contained, to keep it under control.
So are you having there's a blockade clearly from Turkey? There won't be supplies going back and forth for the virus. But how about from Bashur or from the south, from the regime areas? Are you having trouble getting equipment back and forth, like safety, PPE, and stuff like that?
There's always difficulty getting things across into North and East Syria, specifically because in January of 2020, this year, Russia used its veto in a UN Security Council meeting to say that the UN cannot bring aid into North and East Syria. And so this is something that will cause a lot of damage and make the situation even more difficult here concerning corona. So again, they're bringing aid to Idlib. They're bringing aid to Damascus, but not to north and east Syria.
So any aid that comes in has to be smuggled in, pretty much.
Yeah, you could say this.
Yeah. So it's just pretty much more of the same. Oh.
Mhm.
So what is the administration doing to control it in the meantime? Are there roadblocks? Are they have they told people to stay home? So like everyone's
Yes.
Are people obeying it? Are people like following the suggestions?
Yes, so the 21st, they said people, unless entirely necessary for work or for something, like I said, necessary, on the 21st, they instituted that no one should travel from city to city. And on the 23rd of this month, they said within cities, people should not be moving around outside of necessities. You can go to the shop to buy food, you can go buy medicine, go to the hospital, but movement within the city is also it's a quarantine essentially, which will be going on for 14 days. After these 14 days, we will see what happens.
Yeah. So and people are obeying it, right? More or less.
Mostly, yeah. You look out in the streets, you can see it's much more empty. There's much less street life than you would normally see. You'll occasionally see a group of rebellious children still playing out in the streets, but it's a lot more quiet. Most people are trying to protect themselves, trying to keep their family safe and away from this pandemic.
So how many hospitals are still functioning in this region?
It's hard to say. I don't have this number off the top of my head. I know that there are, pardon me if I look at my notes, there are 36 ICU beds and there are around 40 ventilators within north and east Syria. But there are only 10 of these ventilators are in hospitals that NGOs are willing to work with, because mostly NGOs are not willing to work with unrecognized, unofficial hospitals that are connected to the autonomous administration. So this again is a problem, but there are some resources, but they are definitely not enough to deal with the pandemic.
Yeah, if it gets really bad, then it's going to be really bad. So yeah. Okay then. So is there anything that we can do on the outside to help?
Well, Hevasor, the Kurdish Red Crescent, is currently accepting donations, as it was during the time of this last war. And now Hevasor, the Kurdish Red Crescent, is the one providing the most aid. They're a local NGO providing medical aid to the people. And so if people want to help the civilians of north and east Syria, donating to the Kurdish Red Crescent would be, I would say, the most helpful thing to do.
The most helpful, and then they'll be able to somehow arrange to get equipment in if they need it and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay then. All right.
It was fun.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll put a link for them, and I'll make sure that I'll try and get people to donate too. So, all right then. Well, thank you very much for all the information, and I hope you stay safe and wear a mask. All right.
Yeah. You
Thanks.
too. Keep healthy.
Bye.
So I'll thank Robin for taking the time to speak with me. And I will put a link to Heva Shore in the comments. You can donate some money to them to help them deal with the virus and just other medical needs that go on in that region. I know right now is a hard time to donate money because of the we're all under lockdown, and some of us aren't working, and money might be a little short, especially when we're trying to maintain ourselves. But if you can send anything, it'll be greatly appreciated by them for sure. And hopefully I'll get some more interviews with some doctors in Iraq and someone from India soon. So please keep watching. If you like what I'm doing, just leave a comment or subscribe. I'll talk to you later.